What is up, everybody?
How's it going?
Finished up a workout here with Austin at Flex Gym. And, we were talking a little bit, just kind of catching up today about some nutrition stuff, some really basic tips and tactics that have worked for myself, yourself, and our clients over the last decade. Really wanted to simplify it and just give you guys 3 really quick things that just work really well to help simplify. There's so much intense information out there when it comes to nutrition, and a lot of it's really good and it's needed, and a lot of it's just not needed. So we just wanted to simplify a few things today just to help you out. Maybe one of them is something that takes your nutritional needs and your nutrition daily to the next level.
Yeah, I think one thing that I've had my clients do in the past, just that have struggled with just daily nutritional habits, is a lot of times I see people just don't get enough water. And it sounds basic and simple, but you'd be surprised how many people drink more caffeine than they do water. And that actually can have some negative effects. So one thing that I've liked to preach to people is every time you eat, drink water first. You know, people want to drink Diet Coke or whatever when they're eating food, or they quick make something, they grab a Pop-Tart or whatever, and they're out the door. So whenever you're eating something, have a glass of water. Because if you eat 5 times a day, you're going to get 5 glasses of water. Even if you don't drink any water throughout any other times, every time you're eating, wash it down with water first.
And it actually really helps with 2 different things. Like you mentioned, you're just helping your water intake be more proficient throughout the day. You're guaranteeing yourself a minimum of that 5 or 6 glasses. And secondly, the satiety with drinking water with meal is so much better than a pop. Like the satiety with a pop is just not there.
No, you'll get hungry faster. You know, your blood sugar is going to go up and down real quick. Where, you know, with A, water, we need to hydrate ourselves. B, we're going to feel a lot more satiated because water is just going to kind of help pull the nutrients into where it needs to go. We're just going to feel better. So that's definitely one that I think would start
tip number 1
with people. So
second great tip moving forward is, so we get derailed so easy throughout the day from our nutrition plan. From a snack standpoint, it's a lot of times we'll pack our meals, our main meals, with us to work or prep them. But a lot of times we forget how important those in-betweeners are to keep our blood sugar levels nice and steady, to keep that metabolism revved, to get in the nutrients we need throughout the day to fuel our skeletal muscle system. And the snacks is such a big thing. It's easy to get derailed, to stop at a gas station, buy some crap, or the vending machine at work, whatever it may be. And so a few things that just work really well, Austin, that you have found for some of your clients.
Some things that I've seen that help is packing vegetables that are easy to keep in like a little cooler or fridge if you're at work. So
and they'll even be fine for several hours.
They'll be good for good for a while. So things like carrots, celery, different little veggie snacks like that.
I packed the broccoli and the cauliflower. I love those two.
Absolutely. Cauliflower is awesome. I love cauliflower. I have it every single day. And people may think that that's weird, like, oh, how do you like vegetables? Or like, if you start trying, you will learn that there's a vegetable out there that you enjoy.
Mix up the colors. Be colorful.
I used to be the same way. Like, I would rather drink my greens than eat them. But after, trying different veggies, I found that broccoli and cauliflower I like. But, going back to the snacks, making things simpler, it's going to be a lot more beneficial to snacking on something like that than snacking on, like, the Tootsie Rolls. We talk about not saying things as good as bad. We've preached that multiple times, but we're trying to create healthy habits, and by snacking more on the veggies, you're going to just get more nutrients. Again, we don't want to say good or bad, but the veggies are more nutrient dense than the Tootsie Roll.
You're going to get more micronutrients. And you're also getting in that higher fiber.
Yes.
That is a huge thing in our diets, especially if there is some good correlation there with people who have really good fat loss. They typically eat more vegetables and have higher fiber intakes. And so you are getting great fiber from your vegetables.
And by adding hydration, by adding water with veggies, you're going to improve your gut motility. You're going to have better GI comfort, and you're just going to be able to excrete feces a lot more efficiently, so you'll feel less constipated or less bloaty throughout the day by just these first 2 things. However, we're talking in a great demographic of people that just live everyday life. Jordan, you work with hunters. it's going to be very difficult when you're going on a long hike,
Sure.
mind you, to just snack on veggies because you're going to burn through those calories. What's something that you like to do or
Yeah.
you've done with your people?
So a lot of times, like when I'm out on my hunts for several days, my veggie intake is not there compared to when I'm at home, typical days at work, where I'm getting in vegetables multiple meals a day. So I do pack a green supplement with me that I have in the morning at night
Yeah.
during my hunts, if I'm able to, just to get them in. It's a big mental thing mainly for me.
Absolutely.
I'm not derailing per se, which is great. But a big thing that I'm doing for myself and for my clients is when they're packing and they're hunting, getting in those snacks, staying fueled. The biggest key is keeping those carbohydrates up, and protein for some recovery as well. And so, I'm always having, like for myself in my pack, I have some really easy turkey sticks or some venison jerky
Awesome.
that I have. I do the sticks a lot versus the hard jerky just because like I don't like getting stuff stuck in my teeth.
Yeah.
Much softer,
Understand.
much faster. And then, a couple big things for me is I pack along trail mix
Yep.
really frequently because it's, for one, there is carbohydrate in there. There's also fats in there, so it's easy. It's not super heavy, but it's not super light. But it's you eat it quick.
Right.
And then just simple stuff. I pack along just some basic bars for carbohydrates. I always eat a banana like before I leave the truck on the hike in to get carbohydrates. And dude, honestly, like an easy, quick carbohydrate that I pack that's really light in my top of my pack is like I just take a little Pop-Tart package.
Yeah.
Because if I need some quick energy, it's a
Right.
quick carbohydrate, and I get it in. And I always like my biggest thing is like I always try to take in a protein, carb, and a fat together. I try to take in all three macronutrients together, and so
Yep.
like that's what I think about when I'm packing. So I have the jerky, I have in the Pop-Tart, so I'm getting in the protein, the carb with the Pop-Tart, and there's actually a little bit of fat in there too.
Right.
So
And I like how you explained that it's different because we talked about, like when you're on a hike, it's going to be difficult to just eat.
I'm burning stuff quick.
You're burning it so quick. I mean, we're talking miles and miles of hiking
Right.
with weight on you. And it's different than just sitting at your desk and working on a computer. So I love how, because again, there's subtle difference. There's a way that we can implement both things. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And the
Definitely.
fact that you add the protein, carb, and fat as a snack is awesome. And I
And
love
that's
that.
even generic population, I think, should really consider that too. Like when you have the vegetables, if you can have a little bit of jerky with that, it doesn't have to be an insane like whole 4-ounce meal of protein, but if you can get a little protein in there, I think
Yeah.
you are benefiting yourself a little bit better.
Absolutely.
A little bit better.
So that's definitely the second one.
So water,
Water.
snacks.
Yep, snacks. And the third one, I mean, what do we do at the end of the day?
Dude, I get that question so much.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not supposed to eat past 6, right?
right.
Like, how often have we heard that? It's kind of been around for a long time.
It has.
So, I mean, you're going to school to be a registered dietitian. You're closing the gap there. What is your belief and your stance
There's
from when it comes to that?
there's actually quite a few studies out there that have shown a group that eats a balanced meal.
Okay.
That's very important. A balanced meal.
So tell me what a balanced meal is. Tell
So
everybody
the
what a
balanced meal will be moderate protein, carbohydrate, and some fat. So something
Okay.
like
protein,
you
carb,
know,
and fat.
yeah. Well, yeah. Something like it might be like for me, I'll use myself. Like
Okay.
it might be a protein shake, whole wheat cereal like Cheerios, and then maybe 1 tablespoon of like a true tablespoon, not as much as I can fit onto one thing, but a true tablespoon of peanut butter. So
Perfect.
protein,
8
carb,
grams of fat with that 1 tablespoon of peanut butter.
exactly, carbs from the whole grains in the whole wheat Cheerios. So they've done studies where we take that group versus not eating anything after a specific time, let's say within a few hours of bed, let's say like
Okay.
4 or 5 hours of bed, and the group that had ate a small balanced meal actually was able to lose slightly more weight than those that didn't. Now there's other studies where people are like, well, this study says eating at night makes you gain weight. When you look at those studies, a lot of times what they do is they compare people that are not active,
Yes.
and it's one carb, or that's not one carb, it's one specific thing that they're eating. It might just be like this group did a survey on eating a bunch of ice cream is what they claim to eat
They weren't
before
having
bed.
the balance, but you have to look at what they're
That's
actually
why the balanced
eating.
meal is very important. Why is it important? Is because we're getting all we're getting all macronutrients in that meal, but we're also getting key important things that we need from those proteins, carbs, and fats, because we do have vitamins and minerals that we are sustaining through those things.
Correct.
And we're balancing the meal. We're not over-consuming the meal.
Yes.
When we're not over-consuming one macronutrient, which is one of the biggest problems in today's society with weight gain, is overconsumption. So that's why having a small balanced meal before bedtime, especially if you work out, because I get this one a lot too, where people are like, well, I work out at 6:30 Am I not supposed to eat anything? No, you just burn calories. You have to replace those calories, and your body's doing what when you sleep? It's repairing.
It's repairing. So you need those macronutrients
Yeah.
to actually help compare. Your body utilizes them
Yes.
to help repair, brain function, hormone function, a lot of different things.
Your
there.
body still burns calories at rest.
Yeah, you're
still
not. Your
can
body's
do
not
that.
doing anything just because you're sleeping. That's actually, it's
Exactly.
working extremely hard.
Yeah, it's trying to repair from the previous day. So, yeah, I personally like to make sure people have something before bed. How about you?
100% agree.
Yeah.
100% agree. And I actually do the same thing. Have a little bit of a protein shake. I'm a big actually Cheerio proponent as well because it's easy. It's something different.
Yep.
I try to stay low sugar, more complex carbohydrate before bed as well. I do kind of have a sweet tooth there in the evening that I'm trying to control. That a lot of times I'll do just to spice it up a little bit. I'll do like a quarter of a cup of Honey Nut Cheerios
Yeah.
mixed with my traditional
Yeah,
Cheerios, just to
absolutely.
get. It's still minimal sugar, but it gets in a little bit more sweetness
Yeah,
for me.
absolutely. It's a
So
good
I'll
balance.
do that, and I do the same thing with the peanut butter. A lot of times, if I've had clients that are like, I don't want to drink water that late in the evening, so they don't want to have like a 4-ounce protein shake, because even that can set them up getting up in the night.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so like from there, a lot of times they'll do like a little tuna creations packet,
Mm-hmm.
like little tuna packets. They make a ton of different flavors, ton of different types of meat.
Yeah.
On those too. So that's always a little option where you can get a nice little like 11 to 16 grams of protein, which is
Absolutely.
just phenomenal.
Have that with some whole wheat crackers or something and call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So some just great 3 easy nutrition tips to maybe help you throughout your day, to help just increase if you're looking for little things to help you be better and build those healthy habits that we talk about. Is just taking your good to a better standpoint is what
I
we
like
kind of
that.
talked about
I
way
like
back.
that.
You know
Yes,
what I
we
mean?
did.
So
Mhm.
you guys have an awesome day. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. You can catch it on the Perform Right podcast or the Run to Gun Live Beyond Average podcast. We kind of run a lot of this content on both. If you haven't had the chance, we'd love for you to go over and leave a review
Yes,
and a
please.
rating on either one of those podcasts.
Your feedback helps us with what we,
Yeah.
what we're putting out there, and that it's,
like
that
this,
you guys are getting something out of it.
correct. This podcast was stemmed on questions that we were receiving.
Yes.
And so if you have questions or you want to hear specific topics discussed, please shoot us over a message, and we'll put together the podcast for you. We really enjoy doing these. We try to put out 2 to 3 a week. Sometimes it's only 1, but we're trying to get 3, 4 done a lot of times some weeks.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. Have
Thanks,
an awesome
guys.
rest of your week.
Have a great week.